Chewing the Fat is brought to you by Studio 71 and netchannel2.com in conjunction with the Secret Hub Studios on the Gold Coast. Good evening, everyone. Chewing the Fat, episode 37, 7th of June 2012. Welcome back for another week, and we've got some stuff for you to listen to this afternoon with Mr. Glenn Goodman. How are you, sir?
Hello, not too bad, thanks. Another cold week.
Yes,
colder.
yes, indeed. It has been cold. Monday, Tuesday, freezing here.
Yes. It's cold up here too. But we're toughing it out. I've got a jumper on tonight.
Yeah, I've noticed that. You've whipped it out from the bottom of the back of the cupboard.
Yeah, out of the mothballs.
That's right. Oh, that's a nice smell.
Oh, I'm loving it.
That's an old person smell.
Yeah, I am old.
Yeah, well, no, I'm talking twice your age.
You put a mothball in for every year that you're alive.
Oh, jeez, there'll be nothing left. There'll be all mothballs and no clothes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so what's been going on? What's been...
It's been a bit of a slow news week, I think, only because the same old stories have been coming up, and I'm loath to discuss them over ad nauseum and bang on. So there's most of the stories that have been listed, the Craig Thompson and the prostitute backtracking, and I'm not going to talk about that tonight. You know
what I think the bigger issue though there is now, which you're not going. This is my only thing on it, and that's it. I'm not going to dwell on it.
Okay.
But I think the media needs a bit of an uppercut now. Let's move on.
Yeah, you might be right about that.
Who cares? Move on. Let's talk about the economy.
Yeah, I think let's talk about what's really going on, and that's good. Did they pay someone off in a department of whatever statistics that the Treasury Department say, look, can you just give us a fake growth rate like you did with the fake surplus?
Do you reckon it is a bit of a dodgy?
Well, I do. I hate to say that, but I do.
But how could they? I don't know. It is probably more complex. But what is that? So the growth rate. How is that? You know how it's measured?
No, I don't know how it's measured, but based on the anecdotal evidence, which is basically what you hear around you, and everyone's just complaining about things are tough. Things the prices are high. People with less money in their pockets. Layoffs left, right, and centre. Retailers reporting that they're not making any money, and every time you lift up a newspaper, regardless of which newspaper, it's all bad news, and has been for a few months, and then all of a sudden, we're going great guns. So I'm a little bit sceptical of how accurate these figures are.
Well, it's probably like the old unemployment figures, because I know how,
which is a furphy as well.
Yeah, because I remember the days, they were pushing people on, to get the unemployment figure down, so people that were on the dole, they were pushing people in and easing up the criteria and qualifications for the disability. They were pushing people on the disability.
Yes.
Therefore, the
unemployment rate, yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
And then when that doesn't work anymore, then they revise how many hours per week do you need to work before we call you employed.
Yeah, well, you only have to work an hour a week now to be considered employed, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. So obviously the unemployment is going to be bloody 2.3% or whatever it is. Because
I think the unemployment rate is probably 2 times or 3 times what they're saying it is.
Yeah. They'd be able to.
You're all a bunch of frauds.
Yeah, it's sad to say, but that's all rubbery figures, isn't it?
It is rubbery figures. That was a good show, by the way. Remember that? That was a great show.
Get out of my face! Give me a beer.
Yeah, so actually, one of my first stories is to do with the economy or lack of in Norfolk Island. Now there's a bit on the 7:30 report this week. I don't know if you caught it.
I didn't actually.
Norfolk Island, they off the coast of Australia, as you may well know.
Yeah.
They like to live their own little secluded, separate, individualistic lifestyle away from the mainland, even to the point where they pay no tax, and they're quite proud of it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Pay no tax.
I might move there.
Yes, but
no taxes means no revenue, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, and a litre of milk, $7.
Oh.
It's up there. But the place has gone to the dogs, and now they want the federal government to help them out.
Oh, look, you know what? They couldn't have called anybody better than this current federal government to help them out of a hole, because the world's best treasurer can get in there and just fix it up in no time at all, because he is just the best treasurer in the world according to him. And then he woke up.
Yeah. And then someone opened his lunchbox.
That's right.
And a bad smell came
That's
out.
right.
But anyway, so they want the government to step in. But on face value and at this early stage, so I think Simon Crean is in charge of this little thing. And he said, well, hang on a second. You aren't contributing to the income tax. So, no, you start paying tax and we'll think about it.
And,
they're
going to have to do something about it.
Yeah, well, look, apparently the economy over there is like really, really bad. And as you said, there's not much revenue.
Well, there's no tourism. Tourism's gone because
that's
the dollar.
Their lifeblood.
That's their lifeblood. They don't export anything. At one point, I think they used to be able to incorporate tax haven companies and bank accounts there.
Yeah.
But other than that, they really have no industry.
So yeah, they're gone. So they're not too good over there.
No.
But they are. Yeah. So I don't know. Should they be allowed in to join? Should we be paying for their?
Well, look, I would say yes under certain provisions, but at the same time, we've got enough of our own problems.
Yeah. But I mean, well, so why not just say, well, if it's too hot, get out of the kitchen.
Well,
you don't like it?
Easier said than done. Or they should just implement their own reforms. They've got their own government, their own prime minister. Just say, look, it's a flat 10% tax.
Well, apparently they got their own GST, I think, of 12%.
Well, okay. Where's that money going?
Well, that must go to their prime ministers or whatever the equivalent is. Their head of
their treasury,
islands.
whatever. But
Yeah,
if they're not making any money, even though they've got consumption taxes, then that means that they're not producing anything, and means there's no tourism.
Well, the tourism had dropped, by I think double figures.
Yeah, probably
like
40%.
Low double figures, but it had dropped by double figures from memory, from what the show was saying.
Well, that's it. See, that's the thing. When you rely on one industry and that falls away, your tax base is going to be eroded, isn't it?
There's stories of people just locking their house up and leaving because there's no one to buy them. They just go.
Oh, I'll go over there. Paradise. Get it for $1.
You probably would.
The rates wouldn't be much. Who's going to collect it? They're all out of work too.
That's right. But yeah, I don't know. But there's still a core group of people that don't want to join the mainland. But
so Norfolk Islands, you say? Okay, I'll Google that after the show.
Quick flicks and move over.
That's it. That's right. So you put your money in Quick Flicks, make some money out of that, buy a cheap property in Norfolk Islands. Government bails them out, you double your money.
Do you reckon the NBN's going out there?
Oh, God, it'd be a while. If it was up to Connie boy, it'd be ages before that happens.
I wouldn't handle that. It'd be too backward. Probably haven't even got dial-up out there.
I think they've got what do you call it, rope and can.
Oh, yeah, one of those ones.
One of those, a piece of rope and a tin can.
Yeah, right. So what else did you find
Well, look,
interesting?
this will be the only thing I'm going to mention about HSU, and this is the thing came up during the week, yesterday actually, a report, a failure by the Health Services Union to launch proceedings over claimed misappropriation of union funds, could be seen as totally outrageous, a judge said. Justice Jeffrey Fleck said it was equally unfathomable as to why an internal investigation was not conducted to see if there was any substance to the allegations. He made these comments on Wednesday in the federal court while discussing whether an administrator would be able to institute proceedings against past officers. So they're putting an administrator in because Barry O'Farrell, because Bill Shorten wanted to take over the administration. He wanted to appoint administration at a federal level, and everyone's going, well, hang on a minute. You're a union guy. You want to put your own administrators in. Gee, the shredding machine might be working overtime here, so maybe no. So Barry O'Farrell stepped in and going, actually, it's under our jurisdiction because it was incorporated in New South Wales. Bill Shorten, go away. So the New South Wales government got it, and they're the ones putting in an administrator. Go Barry, I say. Go Barry.
Now, I didn't mind Bill Shorten.
I think he's a pig, but that's just me.
Look, I thought he was watching him perform and all this sort of stuff. I thought, yeah, maybe he could be a future leader of the Labor Party. And then came that insane interview.
That interview, yeah. Yep.
That insane interview.
Yeah, horrible.
He says, I'm the Prime Minister, and I don't know what she said, but
that's right. But I support it anyway. But you got to remember, a lot of these guys are very good in front of a camera. They're very good on their feet, and they sound articulate. But beyond that, they have no brains, none whatsoever.
And you look at him. I've been looking at him since then, and I'm looking at him in a different light. And I look at him and think, you're a dope. You're a dope. Which makes me want to go and find out what he's done in his previous life.
Oh, union. It's all union.
Eric likes doing it, and it's quite an interesting thing. So early career, he was
nothing.
Where his father was a waterside worker and union official.
No surprises.
He was educated at Xavier College and Monash University.
Right.
During his time at Monash, was a founding member of a Young Labour Network.
Yeah, no surprises.
He Short began working in the Labour movement while still a student, working for Gareth Evans after graduating, blah, blah, blah. Then 1994, his union career as a trainee organiser.
A trainee organiser. That's a funny word, trainee organiser.
Shorten was elected as the AW Secretary in 2001, re-elected in 2005. He's a trade union official with the tertiary education. He was an active member of the Labor Party. He was a member of the party's national executive until he was at the Student Ministry Committee Victorian branch. Yeah, so there you go.
That's it. In other words, no work experience whatsoever.
He was a board member of Get Up.
Yeah, Get Up. He should get up and just leave us.
And give yourself an uppercut.
That's right. Get up and give yourself an uppercut, Shorten. You have a short career, Shorten.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. Like, that interview just did it for me. I thought he was a sort of going places.
Well, this is the problem. A lot of these politicians on either side, they can fool the public quite easy with how they perform in front of the camera, and up to that point, he probably was duping a lot of people. But I tell you what, beyond their skill in front of a camera and how they manipulate the media and how they use ambiguous terms to make themselves sound smart, they're nothing. They're blank. There's no substance in them. They are very, very stupid.
You know what? That sort of works on your Todays and your Sunrises and
that's right.
And I was going to say Current Affair, but they don't even go to.
Oh, they don't even go that level. They're no. See, there's normal intelligence. There's 20 feet of shit. There's Labor Party. There's cockroaches, then there's Julia Gillard, and then there's Bill Shorten.
Yeah, and then a Current Affair. Yeah, so, but look, if you want to see interviews with these people, I saw actually an interview, I think might have been last night, on Late Line. Stephen Smith and Tony Jones was interviewing him, and I think Stephen Smith was squirming. You could see him physically
just actually moving around in his
It was like this, I said that, and that was the end of the story. And, and then
that's pretty funny.
And Tony Jones goes, "Well, it's not the end of the story. It's only just the start of the story."
Oh God!
Goes, no, Tony. It's the I've said what I had to say, and it's the end of the story.
Yeah. And yeah. And then I ask him again. Well, I already answered that question. Look at your tapes. Yeah. Look at Hansard.
That's the end of the story. The end.
So I'll just finish this little short story off because I don't want to talk about these idiots again. So the general thing about this is that there could be charges laid if the judge allows the administrator appointed by the New South Wales government to charge them. So watch this space. I hope that justice prevails and they're allowed the powers to investigate and to charge. And yeah, so there you go.
So actually, talking about Barry O'Farrell there, I heard that he's breaking one of his promises, isn't he? Selling off electricity or something?
No, well, the promise was that he told the shooters party, bloody shooters party,
Is that the nightclub up here on the in-service
shooters. He said to them as part of his some sort of deal about the. He said his election promise was he would not allow organised shooting parties in national parks to get rid of what do you call it? Feral animals.
Right. Yep.
And as a result of that, that was his promise. But in order to get the electricity sale through, he had to go back to the shooters party, or they came to him and said, "So we'll let it through the Senate if you allow a certain amount of feral shooting in national parks." So he's gone, yeah, okay. So, but organised, feral. There is a massive feral animal problem in most national parks because years and years and years the greenies wouldn't allow anyone in there, and now we've got this massive problem that's actually wrecking livestock and.
Well, I think we've got part of the problem up here with the bats.
Yeah, well, they've got a huge problem down here as well.
Well, they're saying it's the bats that are the carriers of the Hendra virus.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they're filthy. They're filthy things.
Well, we've got to move them on.
Yeah, well, for years and years and years, the Greens got their way. It's the environment. You can't go shooting animals. The whole bleeding heart bloody crap.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. So the native animals and native flora have just been decimated and destroyed.
Yeah.
And that's it. Now you got to go back there and start culling, and it's going to, there's just packs of wild dogs. Some of them apparently weighing up to 80 kilos. That's a big dog, right?
Geez, yeah.
They're just running around in packs of 20 and 30. Could you imagine them coming across you at a campsite? Hello?
Yeah. Wow. That'd be worse than the bears.
I agree, because the bears can't run that fast.
Yeah, but that's crazy. But so you finished up with HSU.
I'm done with HSU. I'm just waiting for the election. Bring it on. That's my last word.
I got one here about Queensland Health payroll.
Go for it.
I don't know how much you've been following that.
I haven't been, but I know what you're going to say, and I think it's good.
Yeah. So the previous government, they introduced, for whatever reason, they wanted to upgrade the payroll system, the Queensland Health payroll system.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, it was supposed to cost 200 million or something. Or no, I think it was even less than that. I think it was only supposed to cost let me read this article here. The Labor government initially considered seeking damages from IBM. So IBM was contracted for 6.19 million to replace the health payroll system in August 2008.
So $6 million.
6 million was IBM was contracted for 6.19 million in December 2007. Let's say million, 6.19 million in 07. Have a guess how much this thing, it's still not working. Have a guess how much this thing is going to cost. The estimate that it will cost by the year 2017, and it may or may not be working.
$1 billion.
KPMG have done an audit, and according to them, how much this thing may cost?
$1 billion, I'm guessing.
1.2 billion.
Well, that's money well spent. Congratulations, Queensland Labor government of Anna Bligh.
Yeah, 6.19 million blown out to 1.25 billion.
That is a massive blowout. That's ridiculous.
How many hospitals could that have built? Could that have built
about each hospital is about 300 to 400 million. Let's call it 350. So that's 5 hospitals nearly.
What a joke!
And that's good hospitals, mind you. Forget that. What about the schools and roads, and update your railways and your infrastructure?
What a joke! Now this thing seems to get worse because so Springboard, who's the health minister now, expressed his anger at the Labor government's management of this SAP work.
Well, see, this is what bothers me. Now, this is the management of a simple payroll system by a Labor government, socialist government, none of them have ever worked a day in their life in anything other than unions or crap. Now, these are the same types of people that are implementing the NBN. So how much is that going to cost us?
Yeah. So Springboard's tabled the document, KPMG document. He's gone crazy at the WorkBrain rollout, which resulted in more than 35,000 payroll anomalies.
Excellent.
So once it was introduced, of course, they were up here. Like, people weren't getting paid. Like, weeks and weeks and months, they weren't getting paid. Then they started to get paid. Then it was all underpaid, or then it was all overpaid.
Oh, God, and their leave loadings and everything would have been badly calculated and the whole thing, right?
Yeah. So the Queensland Auditor General revealed IBM had made 47 changes to the original specifications and had been paid $21 million by the time the system went live. KPMG's audit note noted that Queensland Health's payroll system was uniquely complex, requiring 2,500 customizations to the SAP software. And more than
SAP is a piece of pus too.
Workarounds. The department's 85,000 staff were employed under 2 different acts, covered by 12 different industrial awards.
Hang on a minute. How can one state employ 85,000 people in a government department? It's no wonder you got $85 billion in debt. That's ridiculous. Coles has a business that makes billions of dollars a year, and they only have 100,000 employees.
The department's 85,000 staff were employed under 2 different acts, covered by 12 different industrial awards, and impacted by 6 different industrial agreements, creating more than 24,000 different combinations of pay. 24,000.
What does that tell you? You know what that tells me? It tells me that every time unions get involved with awards and this and that and the other, this is what happens. It becomes so complicated to administer. Why don't you just have one award? Or just have contracts?
Each fortnight, 1,010 payroll staff were required to perform more than 200,000 manual processes.
That's ridiculous.
On about 92,000 forms due to the complex environment.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
Tell me about it.
1,000 people just in payroll
to perform more than 200,000 manual processes.
That is that's the dark ages. That is the worst. You know what? And that's replicated in every Labor state, federal or otherwise. You know, in Canberra, everything. You put the Labor government in charge, and this is what happens.
That's bad, isn't it?
In case anyone was trying to guess, I don't have a high opinion of socialist governments. And if you think I'm blowing smoke out of my ass, just have a look at what's happening in Greece, Italy, France, and Spain. And if you still think socialism is a good idea, well, then you're a moron.
Yeah, it's not working, is it?
No, it never has worked.
I can't believe 1.25 billion. That's so that's a lot of Well, how does the state government? How do they get their money? Just a lot of stamp duty and.
Well, their taxes are higher. There's inefficiencies and that.
Well,
they didn't collect money. That's why they were $85 billion in debt when they got booted out. It's just ridiculous.
Terrible.
Yeah. Anyway, look. Here's something that'll make you happy.
I can't get happy now.
A drunk mother, piled 10 children, aged from 1 to 10, into her car, but only put a seatbelt on the youngest child before driving off and crashing at high speed. 3 of the children were seriously injured in the crash when Tanya Chili lost control of her Pajero and the car rolled. The car rolled. 9 people without seatbelts.
Yeah.
Chili, a mother of 7, pleaded guilty in Melbourne Magistrates Court to 3 counts of dangerous driving, causing serious injury, 9 counts of failing to ensure a child was restrained in the car, and 1 count of driving unlicensed, and 1 count of drink driving. She's on a roll, literally. She faces a maximum of 5 years in jail. What a freaking moron.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's what I said. Is that all? 5 years, I'd give her 15.
What? Up to?
Yeah, up to maximum. That's the maximum.
Yeah. That's a joke. What they'll be saying is, were they all her kids?
7 of them was.
That's a joke in itself. But they'll say, oh, the kids need the mother.
Oh yeah, it's all bleeding
they're not
heart
gonna have a
shit.
relationship with the mother if she's in the can.
You know what? The kids are better off without the mother. Put them in a foster
Yeah.
home where they can be cared for properly.
The kids won't have a mother. Well, the mother won't have kids if she keeps doing what she's doing. That's terrible.
And I wonder if she's on welfare. And in which case, how's she affording a Pajero? Getting $5,000 a week from welfare. Thank you, Julia Gillard. That's what your policies are doing. Thank you, idiot.
They earn more money than I do.
That's what I reckon. And they sit on their ass and smoke bongs.
Yeah, look, it's no good. But all these criminals, people, wasn't it? There's a bloody shootout up here in Woodridge tonight or this afternoon.
How far is that from you?
Half an hour.
Okay.
So it's not on the Gold Coast, but it's up just between here and Brizzy.
So,
but I mean,
what is it? Bikie related?
Oh, who would know? I hadn't followed the story because I'm doing the show tonight.
Right.
But I mean, but you've got to. When do you just sit back and say
enough is enough?
You've fired a shot. Okay, you might have shot it. Shot it into the ground. You might have shot it into a tree. But you know what? You're going away for 5 years or so just for shooting a gun. You idiot.
No, that's right, and that's what everyone's been saying down here. All the talkback jocks have been saying down here. They've been saying that if you've got a gun that's unlicensed and you shoot it, 5 years. If you shoot it at a person, 10 years. If you shoot it at a cop, 15.
20.
No questions asked. None of this. Oh, it's your first offence, so we'll let you off lightly. No, zero tolerance. That's what it should be. Zero tolerance. It's strike one, you're out. Not strike three, you're out. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you should be. You're gone. See you later.
Hey, when I was 20, if I pulled a stunt like these idiots have been doing these days, the law would have come down on me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah. I had a copper pull me up for when I was a kid.
For what?
When I was a kid, we used to walk through this arcade. It was in the morning, on the way to catch the bus. We used to walk through this arcade, and we used to just whistle really, really loud. Like fingers in your mouth. Really high pitched screeching whistles.
Right.
There was a guy there that used to pop his head out. He used to start early. He goes, "Shut up, you little bastards!" So he called the cops on us one day, and the cops pulled us aside, and bloody give us the what for, and and that was it. We thought, oh gee, scared the crap out of us, and
that was that.
That was that. But the kids these days, they tell the copper to get stuffed. And,
you can punch a copper and spit in his face and swear at him, and nothing happens to you.
Yeah, that's where it's wrong. That's where it's got to change.
That's right.
You do that, like you got to go. See you later, bud.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the magistrates are all warm and fuzzy, socialist, bloody hand wringers. So what are you gonna do? Get rid of them. We need some real tough nuts in there who just don't take any crap.
But I think you need to. I think it probably needs to go further at the other end, and you need to build a facility that can, say, start handling a mass influx of people. And I don't know, go out.
Well, that's easy enough. That's easy enough. Don't build a $1 billion payroll system. Build a couple more jails. It'll be cheaper.
But why not just build a really big compound, just basic dormitories?
You know what we could do? Do what the English did. Send them to another country.
Well, you could do that.
Make them convicts. I know. Norfolk Island.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. They're not doing much.
No.
And you build a jail over there. It provides work.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Tourism. Then it could be a tourism site. Look at the murderers. Hey, pay $5.
And what about the guys doing the people smuggling in Canberra?
Oh yeah, good one. Yeah, well done, federal police and Labor government. Excellent. He was pushing trolleys 5 minutes away from across the road, actually, from the federal police building.
Mm.
Yeah, don't get me
That's what they
started,
say,
mate.
you know. You just look. They don't look in their own backyard. They're looking further afield. They're not looking across the
Yeah,
road.
it's always right in
Good.
front of you. That's a well-known criminal
Mm.
criminal ploy. When you
Yeah.
when someone escapes from jail, the helicopters are going crazy. They're looking everywhere. You know where he's hiding? Next to the jail.
Yeah.
And when everything calms down, he just starts whistling and walks down the road. Doo, 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 doo. You know?
Just as if he's got no care in the world, and
That's right.
everyone just
Because they think he's not going to hang around here. That's the last place he'll be hanging around. So they search
Yeah.
5 kilometres away.
yeah block the roads off and
Yeah,
go
idiots.
crazy.
The blokes just jumped the fence, got some clothes off a clothesline, put some different clothes on, walked into the local Macca's, looks like a normal guy having a meal. Idiots.
Terrible.
Idiots.
Terrible.
Anyway,
Terrible Saturday.
wrap up with this story. You'll love this. Obese woman's body fat burns down Austrian crematorium. A devastating fire which gutted a crematorium in southern Austria was caused by an obese woman's excessive body fat blocking an air filter.
Oh,
The fire
no.
occurred at the facility in the city of Graz in mid-April. Firefighters had trouble extinguishing the blaze due to a thick layer of insulation lining the crematorium walls. Austrian officials investigating the fire found that it was caused by the burning body of the 440-pound 200-kilogram woman.
Wow.
The obese corpse led to the overheating in the crematorium's filter system, triggering the blaze.
Wow. Did you see that show Jamie Oliver's Food Revolution or whatever it was?
Yeah, good luck getting that done in America. Did you watch that episode when he was trying to get everything was fried? Oh, it's disgusting.
Oh yeah, wasn't it? In the schools, it is terrible. But he did get it going, I think, in the places that he visited.
Some of them he did. Some of the play he just gave up and said, "Look, you people just don't want to do it. You don't care."
So they're the ones that didn't get to air. Is that right? Those
Yeah, there would have been. Yeah.
Yeah. But there was one town that was obviously came to air because I saw it. But he went to the funeral home and there were caskets that were like double beds.
Oh yeah, it's
You know?
disgusting. When I was in Disneyland 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, there were so many people that I saw. You know, when you go to a shopping centre and like old people walking around in these ride along things in the shopping centres because they're old,
little scooters.
Well, they weren't old in Disneyland. They would have been younger than me, a lot of them, and they were riding around on these scooters because they were too fat to walk around. They were huge. I'm not kidding you, dude. They were, if you could picture someone that was 4 feet across wide, right?
Yeah.
In the old scale, that's 40. That's 120 centimeters wide at the girth, right? So this camera, this wide, okay, that wide, 4 feet across at your stomach. These people, their legs were like this. One leg.
Yeah.
And
It's pretty unhealthy.
And they're sitting and they go and get something to eat. So they go and get, the most fattening thing you could buy and a Diet Coke.
Yeah. Gotta have the Diet Coke.
Yeah, well done. Idiots.
Yeah, look, it's crazy. It's a problem.
It is a
It's
problem.
a problem.
So get on that run, keeper. Go, go, go.
Go, baby, go.
Well, that's it for us.
Right.
That's it.
We got to run.
We've got to run. Good show. Only 30 minutes this week, but that's okay. It's always supposed to be 30 minutes. But thanks for listening, and thanks for the overseas listeners too. Getting a lot of downloads from you guys and
Chewing the Fat is
whatnot.
brought to you
So that's
by
really
Studio
good.
71
Thanks for that, and we will see you next week. See you all then. Bye bye.
Sayonara.